your obsession with this palette is not healthy anymore, but I fully agree on you with that, because this is just the surprising unnecessary makeup product of 2024, but we all love it. My series is over now. I hope you followed that series. If not, head over to my profile, because if editor me is remembering this, so
Edit Ella, put them in a fucking playlist.
So hopefully my editing me will have done this, because I told her just so. I'm now promising that there is actually a playlist with all the Made by Mitchell videos that I did with this palette, where I applied basically every single color of this 24 pan cream blush palette on my face with a brush. And then there was a 25th video where I did just the classic face swatches. And in this long form video, I will not show you every single swatch again or so. I will just give you a review. Do you need this? Don't you need this? And I will give you my top 3 and my bottom 3 shades of this palette. Some people were asking me to rank every single shade in here, and I thought about this, but honestly, it is impossible to rank, because a lot of these shades for me are in the same spot in the ranking, but there are 3 shades that I hated the most and 3 shades that I loved the most. So I thought that would make so much more sense. And before we dive into that, the lip of today is the Haus Labs PhD Lip Glaze in the shade Fig. I refused to buy this, but the color looked so beautiful on an Instagram post that I saw, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try, and I love the formula. I now want them all, but I officially set myself on a no-buy again, so I have so much lip products. I think at this point I have over 70 lipsticks and glosses. And some of them are not even put in the Access spreadsheet, because my whole Girl Code collection of stuff is over there and is sitting in that special collection box. And now I'm rambling. Let's head to the palette. Let me just start by the fact that I personally think a 24 pan cream blush palette is super unnecessary for a private person. Still, I think this is one of the best additions to my makeup collection that I have ever done. I enjoyed every single video, aside from 3, so much. I'm honestly a bit sad that it's over now. So what are the pros of a big palette like this? First of all, obviously, the variation, the different shades that you have, the different color families that you can explore. And for me, the biggest pro is that a palette like this forced me to go into warmer peachy shades that I usually hate as fuck. I would never ever have bought a shade like, for example, which one was it? This one, Can't Cope with Coral. Never ever would I buy a shade like this, but honestly, this shade looks absolutely stunning on my face. Since this has a peach tone, yes, but it's white, borderline neon based, this gives you the most amazing fresh coral face. Love it, but I never would have bought this myself. So with a palette like that, that kind of forces you to use the shades to get your worth out of this palette, I think this is just great to leave your comfort zone to try something new. The biggest con of this palette is actually that, yes, there are also shades in there that I will never in my life touch again. So let's talk about the 3, in my opinion, worst shades in this palette. The worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. Like, with a burning passion, Mango Daiquiri. Ugh. Have you ever seen an orange with a green undertone? I don't know what this is, but it has a green undertone to me. And on my face, it looked so fucking bad. It looked like I'm bruised. Like someone hit me in the face. Someone just, I don't know, gave my cheeks a permanent hurtful glaze. I'm actually even thinking of removing this shade out of the palette because it is so bad. And for the longest time in the journey with this palette, I thought that my second least favorite shade, Nancy, would be the worst. But you know what? Compared to Mango Daiquiri, Nancy is a friendly little bitch. Nancy is a shade I see myself not wearing alone, but I see myself using this to mix in with another shade to create something very, very cool. And the last one of the three not so loved shades is actually this one. And this is the first shade that we tried. This is Peony Passion. The reason is mainly because this is so light that even for me as a super pale person, this looks borderline like a color corrector. I don't love how it looks on my cheek as a blush. I can make this work on the cheeks. I can use this. I can use it actually to top it off with a very dark blush. I think it tones down in the underpainting way, but this is definitely not a blush I really enjoy. So here you have the three shades, Mango Daiquiri, Nancy, and Peony Passion from this blush palette that I like the least. Actually, Mango Daiquiri I hate with a passion. That is not able to be put into words. Now let's talk about my top three. At number 3, this time I make it in the other order, is this guy. This is the shade Where's the SPF? Oh, holy fucking blush lord. Look at this color. This is... oh, I think I just came. This color is also orange. This is a bright orange, but do you know what? The amount of red in this orange is higher than the amount of yellows in there. And I love a more red-based orange. This is so my vibe. This is so beautiful. And the name Where's the SPF is amazing. Someone, I think, commented under the post, was it this one or another one? I think it was this one. It's given sunburned. And my answer was, yeah, sunburned is the sun-kissed of pale people. I love the shade. I think it's so, so beautiful. Please keep in mind, these are very heavy swatches. They go on a bit different. Again, go back to the playlist. At number 2 is actually the last shade that we tried, and this is Very Berry. I don't think that this shade is that berry, but it has a beautiful, muted, kind of gray casted berry vibe, and I so enjoy this. I wish I had a shade like this in a powder blush actually. My favorite shade in this palette, and I don't think this is a big surprise, is Dairy Queen. This is actually very surprising because I expected this to go on much more opaque, and while my swatch here is a super intense purple, on the cheeks it is very translucent. The base here is not as thick and as opaque as it is with, for example, with Where's the FPS with a shade. Even in the swatch, I think you can see a certain kind of translucency here in Dairy Queen that makes the shade just so, so wearable. And I have already gotten messages from people because these shades in here that have never been in any kind of form before from Made by Mitchell are available to be bought as blush balm sticks. So he has most of his shade also in a stick format, and a lot of the shades from the Curve Case Collective are now available in a stick form. And so many people DM'd me that they actually bought Dairy Queen in the stick from Beauty Bay because that is the shade that surprised them the most. This is not the first type of bigger face palette that Made by Mitchell has done. There's also a bronze book, I don't have that, and the blush book. I know it's BLURSH, I refuse to say this, it's a blush book. This is the first version. There is a second one that I do not have because one side did not really appeal to me, so I went with the first one. And if you have this one and you are afraid that you get dupes inside the cream blushes, I can tell you there is no dupe. At least no named color dupe. I mean, similar vibes, of course. I mean, it's still purple, some pinks, and maybe warm terracotta shades. But it's not like there is one color, one specific one that you now have in two different formulations. Made by Mitchell does that a lot. So he has his liquid blushes, the sticks, and the curve cases, and the powder blushes. And a lot of the shades come in each formulation. I myself used to have, let me open that again. I used to have the shade Cold Heart, it's this one, as the liquid version too, but I actually decluttered it because I like this formula so much more than his liquid ones. And if a 24 pan cream blush palette is too big for you, which I can totally understand, then stay tuned because there are already sneak peeks. At least the day that I'm filming this, we only have sneak peeks. Maybe when this video is going up, maybe we have a full reveal. I don't know. If we have a full reveal, I will now enter it. I don't know if I entered something. You will see it. But the sneak peeks as of now are saying that there are new 2 curve cases, and if I'm not mistaken, with each 8 pans, and one will be lighter and one will be darker. And to be honest, from the sneak peeks, I want to have both. To me, although this is such a big palette, this is not a waste of money. I will definitely grab this also outside of that series that I have done a lot. I do have to grab this a lot because it unfortunately does not fit into any of my drawers. So it will sit here on my desk with me, and sometimes I'm a lazy girl and I just take what I can grab immediately. If you want to get this, you can of course buy it on the Made by Mitchell website, but if you want to get this and you want to support me, which is totally up to you, please do never feel forced to buy something that I tell you, then you can get this on Beauty Bay. I do have an affiliate link with Beauty Bay, so it's in the description down below. And yeah, I just hope that this review is helpful for you. Again, make sure you check out the playlist where I did the videos with all of these, and I highly recommend the day with Mango Daiquiri because I was never so insulted as with Mango Daiquiri. And Nancy, actually. Nancy is a bitch, but not as much of a bitch as a Mango Daiquiri. Let me please know down below, if you watched the series of short videos of this palette, what was your personal favorite shade? If you don't have this palette, just imagine you had it. What inside of this beauty would be probably your favorite shade? Let me know down below, and thank you so much for watching. Aside from the big palette, I try also to link the balm sticks, so if you want to get a specific shade, then you can choose from that too. And please sure you subscribe because I do fun videos over here, and I hope I can see you in the next one.